On a sunny morning in 37 AD, the noble Roman family of the Domitici welcomed a new member. They named him Nero. His father, Gnaeus Domitius Ahenobarbus, immediately summoned astrologers to divine the boy's future. After careful divination, the astrologer prophesied to Nero's father that the child would one day become ruler of the Roman Empire, and that as emperor, he would be extraordinarily cruel, even killing his own mother. The demon of power in a mother's heart. What a terrifying prophecy! Nero's mother, Agrippina the Younger, consulted several renowned astrologers herself, and they all delivered the same ominous words. They urged her to abandon the child early to avert tragedy. But Agrippina dismissed their warnings entirely. As long as her son could become emperor of Rome, she didn't care what might happen in the future. Yet how could Nero possibly inherit the throne? The reigning emperor, Claudius, was merely Agrippina's uncle, and Nero had no direct claim. When Nero was just 3 years old, his father died. Agrippina remarried a very wealthy man but sent Nero to live with his aunt. She then poisoned her new husband and married the widowed Emperor Claudius, becoming Empress of Rome. As Empress, Agrippina used her beauty, intrigue, and scheming to build her political power. She first persuaded Claudius to marry his daughter to Nero, then to adopt Nero as his son, and finally to designate him as the primary heir to the throne. Once in full control, in 54 AD she poisoned Claudius with a dish of toxic mushrooms, paving the way for Nero to ascend as emperor. But now that he was on the throne, Agrippina had no intention of relinquishing power to her son. She wanted him to remain a puppet. Legends even claim that, to maintain control over Nero, Agrippina shamelessly entered into an incestuous relationship with him. Like his mother, Nero harbored an intense lust for power, and would stop at nothing to achieve his ends. Once, when envoys from Armenia arrived in Rome, Nero met them alone, excluding his mother and barring her from the audience chamber in the emperor's name. This enraged Agrippina, who threatened to depose him. To preempt any real action, Nero poisoned the food at a banquet for ministers. When Britannicus Claudius's natural son ate the tainted dish, convulsed in agony, and collapsed writhing on the floor, Nero coolly continued feasting as if nothing had happened, shocking all present with his cold-bloodedness. In 59 AD, Nero abruptly changed tactics, showering Agrippina with affection and expressing a desire for reconciliation. She believed him. He invited her to a seaside villa for a holiday and even commissioned a beautifully crafted small boat as a gift. Delighted, Agrippina took the boat out on the water, only for it to suddenly fall apart. Fortunately, she was an excellent swimmer and was rescued by passing fishermen. Nero, believing his carefully engineered accident had succeeded, celebrated her death. But while he rejoiced, a slave arrived from Agrippina to report that she was safe. In a panic, Nero accused her of sending the slave to assassinate him, and dispatched men to her villa to kill her outright. With his mother's murder accomplished, Nero finally seized full control of the empire. On July 19, 64 AD, a massive fire broke out in Rome, raging for 6 days and 7 nights. Of the city's 14 districts, 3 were reduced to ashes, and 7 severely damaged. In the aftermath, rumors swirled that Nero had deliberately started the blaze to clear land for a grand new palace. Public outrage threatened his rule. To deflect blame and quell discontent, Nero turned his gaze to the emerging Christian community. This new religion, still in its infancy, was already misunderstood and ostracized for refusing to worship Roman gods and holding secret gatherings. As the historian Tacitus recorded in his annals, Nero falsely accused Christians of being hated for their abominations, and pinned the arson on them, using it as pretext for persecution. Weeks after the fire, Nero ordered widespread arrests across Rome and parts of Italy. Captured Christians endured torture to extract confessions to the fabricated crime, implicating others in the process. Even apostles like Peter and Paul did not escape. The persecution lasted from 64 AD until Nero's suicide in 68 AD, driving church activities underground as believers clung to their faith in fear. Nero's methods were notoriously brutal. Christians were stripped, coated in pitch, and tied to stakes in his palace gardens, then set alight as human torches to illuminate nighttime banquets while he watched from his chariot. Others were sewn into animal skins and torn apart by dogs in the arena, forced to fight wild beasts for public amusement, or crucified, like slaves. The Apostle Peter, in humility toward Christ, requested upside-down crucifixion. Paul, as a Roman citizen, was granted beheading in 64 AD outside the city. Yet for the early church, these martyrs' steadfast witness did not destroy the faith but strengthened it. Stories of their courage drew new converts, allowing Christianity to spread underground and grow stronger through trial. This narrative aligns with primary sources like Tacitus, Suetonius, and early Christian traditions. While some details, such as the exact nature of Nero's involvement in the fire or the incest rumors, are debated or sensationalized in ancient accounts, his matricide, the failed boat assassination, and the systematic persecution of Christians are well-attested historical events.